Okay, so we're going to do some past paper questions. This is from the May-June 2016 paper. Okay, so let's start off with these questions now. So, first question. We need to write 0.0000574 in standard form. Okay, so how do we do this? We first of all look for the first non-zero number, which is 5 in this case, and then we write it like this with a decimal, 5.74, and then times 10 to the minus 5, because if we count from the decimal point here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we count 5 before we to reach the 5, so that's why it's going to be 5.74 times 10 to the minus 5. Okay, so you need to be familiar with switching between these two forms. Okay, right, next question. Calculate this. Okay, so if you did this in your calculator, okay, you would get 5.89 to 2 decimal points. Okay, so make sure you're comfortable with answering this. I'm just going to change my pen because that one isn't too good. Right. Okay, so basically just plug these numbers into your calculator, making sure that you do 2 to the power of 4 first. Okay, add it to 3.07, then you can do divided by, in brackets, 5.03 minus 1.79. Okay. Next question. Write 3.5897 to 4 significant figures. Okay, so this one, I'm going to write 3.590, and the reason for that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. When we round up 89, it becomes 90. Okay, so the answer is 3.590. A quadrilateral has rotational symmetry of order 2 and no lines of symmetry. Write down the mathematical name of this quadrilateral. Okay, in this case, this is going to be a parallelogram. Okay, and what is a parallelogram basically? Something like that. Okay, so we've got two parallel lines opposite each other. Okay, notice the difference between a rhombus. A rhombus would basically have all the lines to be the same length, but in a parallelogram, so 2 lines will be shorter than the other 2. Okay, so that's the answer for that one. 5a, from the list of numbers, write down the square numbers. Okay, so basically, what's 1 squared? Well, 1 squared is 1. Okay, 1's not there. What's 2 squared? 2 squared is 4. Well, it's not there. 3 squared is 9. Okay, so 9 is one of them. What's 4 squared? Well, it's 16. Okay, and that's the maximum number in the list. So those are the answers. Okay. If you divided all these numbers by 99, you would only find 2 factors, which would be 9 and 11. 9 is not a prime number, so the answer is going to be 11. So it's 11 is a prime factor of 99. Okay, next question. We need to simplify this. Well, basically we can do a half cubed. So we do a half times a half times a half. That gives us an eighth. Okay, we're just gonna 2 times 2 times 2 gives us an eighth. Okay. Then, what do we need to do to the x 2 to the power of 3? Well, we need to multiply 3 times the power of 2 over 3, and that will give us, if I do x 2 over 3 times 3, that's going to be x 6 over 3, which is x to the power of 2. The final answer is going to be 1/8 x to the power of 2. Okay, so that's how we answer that question. Right, next question. A map is drawn to scale, okay, to a scale of 1 to the 1 million, okay. A forest on the map has an area of 4.6 centimeters squared. Calculate the actual area of the forest in square kilometers. Okay, first things first, let's write down what the conversion is between 1 centimeter to kilometers. Well, 1 centimeter is 1 times 10 to the minus 5 kilometers. Okay, so obviously you need to know the conversions between centimeters and meters, kilometers and meters, and you can work this out. Okay, right. The next thing we need to work out is, well, 1 centimeter squared is actually 1 times 10 to the minus 10 kilometers squared. Okay, so that's going to be useful to us. Now, it says 1 to 1 million ratio. What does that mean? It means for every 1 centimeter on the map, it means that equates to actual in reality 1 million centimeters, okay? However, area is centimeters squared. So what I'm going to do is, instead of, so we know 1, we know that's the ratio, but I want actually the area, so I'm going to square both sides, okay? So obviously 1 squared still stays as 1, so it's going to be 1 to the ratio of 12 zeros, okay? Now, I'm going to multiply this 4.6 times that number, 1 times 10 to the 12 centimeters squared, okay? That will give me 4.6 times 10 to the 12 meters squared, but now I'm going to multiply this answer to my conversion, because the answer needs to be in kilometers, kilometers squared, so it's going to be 4.6 times 10 to the 12 times 1 times 10 to the minus 10 kilometers squared, and if you did that together, you would get 460, or if you did that on your calculator, sorry, you would get 460 kilometers squared. Okay, that's your answer there. Right, the next bit, solve the inequality x over 3 plus 5 is greater than 2. Okay, so this is a very straightforward example. All you need to do here is just treat it as a normal equation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to minus 5 to both sides. So I get x over 3 is greater than 2 minus 5 is minus 3. Okay, now I'm going to times 3 to both sides. So I get x is greater than minus 9. And that's my answer. Simple as that. X is greater than minus 9. Okay, next question. A regular polygon has an interior angle of 172 degrees Celsius. Find the number of sides of this polygon. Okay, now just a little bit of a little lesson here is, if I have a if I have a square here, I know in a square all the interior angles are 90 degrees individually. Okay, and if I was to extend, okay, if I was to extend the line of each of these edges, it would be 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90. And what does that give me? 90 times 4 is 360 degrees. Okay, so there's a rule that all the exterior angles of any polygon or any regular polygon will always equal to 360 degrees. Okay, so what does that mean for us? We therefore, so basically this polygon has interior angles of 172, so we need to find out what the exterior angle is, and to work out the exterior angle we do 180, because 180 is a straight line, minus the interior angle, in this case it's 172. Okay, so I'm going to do that, so I'm going to do 180 minus 172, well that's 8 degrees. Okay, now I'm going to do 360 degrees, okay, which is the total sum of the exterior angles divided by 8 to give me the total number of exterior angles on the outside, and that gives me 45. Okay, and that gives me the number of sides as well. So the answer is 45 sides. Okay, right, next question. So a bit of algebra here. It says, make P the subject of the formula RP plus 5 equals 3P plus 8R. Okay, so first of all I'm going to move 5 to this side, so I get RP equals 3P plus 8R minus 5. Okay, what can I do? I'm going to now move my P over to this side, so it becomes 3P minus 3P equals 8R minus 5. I'm going to take P out, so I get R minus 3 equals 8R minus 5. Then if I make P the subject, well then it will be P equals 8R minus 5 over R minus 3. Okay, that's my final answer. Right, question 11. It says, Shahrukh plays 4 games of golf. His 4 scores have a mean of 75, a mode of 78, and a median of 77. Okay, so how do we work this out. Okay, first things first is a mode of 78. That means 78 has to appear more than once, at least 2 times. Okay. I think 2 is a good number of times, because if it was 78 3 times, I don't think we would get a mean of 75, or we would get a median of 77. Okay? So we need to have 78 twice at least. I think I'm going to put 78 twice. I won't put it down here just yet. Next thing I'm going to look at, well, it says a median of 77. If I put 78 in the middle, okay, I don't think I'm going to get 77 as the middle number, okay, middle value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 78 there, okay, to tell me that, okay, there's 2 of them, and they're going to be one of the highest values, okay, of his scores. Next thing I need to work out is the median. Well, how can I get a median of 77? Okay, let's try something out with my calculator. So let's do I can't have 77 itself here, because I need 2 numbers to give me 77. So if I do 77, I'll show you here, 77 plus 78 divided by 2, well, I get 77.5. I need 77. Okay, so let me try 76. 76 plus 78 divided by 2 gives me 77. Aha, so that makes sense. So one of my answers could be 76. So I'm going to put 76 here. That makes sense now. And for those of you that don't know, if you've got an even set of numbers, the middle value, you need to take the middle 2, add them together, then divide by 2. Okay. Right. Lastly, I need to get a value here to give me a mean of 75. So I'm just going to do a bit of algebra. I'm going to say x plus this total. I'm going to add that up. So 76 plus 78 plus 78. So that's plus 232 divided by 4 has to give me 75. Okay. So it gives me x equals 75 times 4 minus 232. If I did that on my calculator, so I do 75 times 4 minus 232, it gives me 68. So my last value is going to be 68. Okay? So that's how you work out that question. Alright. Next question. So, write the recurring decimal 0.36 reoccurring as a fraction. Give your answer in its simplest form. Okay, so it says 0.36 dot on the top means 0.3666 and so on. Okay, first thing to mention here is any number, okay, that's reoccurring always is equal to that number over 9. So what do I mean by that? So I'm going to say 0.6 reoccurring is equal to 6 over 9, okay? So it's just a rule you have to learn. So if it was 0.3 reoccurring, it would be 3 over 9, and so on. Okay? So I'm going to rewrite this decimal as 0.36 reoccurring as 0.3 plus 0.06 reoccurring. Okay? Okay, so in fraction form, 0.3 is 3 over 10, okay, and I'm going to say, well, 0.06 is this reoccurring over 10, okay. Next thing I'm going to say is I'm going to rewrite 0.6 as this, so I'm going to say, okay, this is equal to 3 over 10 plus 6 over 9 divided by 10, okay, which is this, okay, and if you know your rules of fractions, 6 over 9 equals 6 divided by 10 equals 6 over 9 times 1 over 10, which gives me 3 over 10 plus 6 over 90, okay. Now I just need to make the denominator the same. Okay, so this becomes, if I times 10 by 9, and I times 3 by 9, I get 27 over 90, plus 6 over 90, that is 33 over 90, and we can divide top and bottom by 3 to simplify it, so we can simplify that to 11 over 30. Okay, that's our final answer. So we have given our answer in its simplest form. Next question. It says, the base of a triangle is 9 centimeters. Correct the nearest centimeter. The area of this triangle is 40 centimeters squared. Correct the nearest 5 centimeters squared. Calculate the upper bound for the perpendicular height of this triangle. Okay, so I'm going to write these numbers as they are and just substitute them into the formula. So the area of a triangle, of a trapezium, triangle, not trapezium, is half times base, which is 9, times height, okay, equals the area, which is 40. Okay, now 40 centimeters squared. Now, at this moment, it's telling us that the base of the triangle is measured to the nearest 1 centimeter. Okay, so that means 9 could have been taken as 8.5 or 9.5 to give us 9 centimeters. It tells us the area of the triangle is 40 centimeters squared, meaning that if it's taken to the nearest 5 centimeters squared, 40 could have been written as 42.5 or 38.5. Sorry, 37.5. Okay, so and we need to find the upper bound of the perpendicular height of this triangle. So basically, we want to find the largest value of h that we can get. Okay, using extending the bounds of 40 and 9. So what am I going to do? I want h to be very large, so I'm going to make my 40 a 42.5. So I'm going to say h equals 42.5. Okay. I'm going to times that by 2, okay, because 2 is on this side, and then instead of dividing by 9 or 9.5, I'm going to actually divide by 8.5, because the smaller denominator is going to give me a larger h value, okay. If you put this all into your calculator, okay, you should get 10 centimeters. Okay, so the answer is 10. Right, next question. Says, without using a calculator, work out 2 5/8 times 3 over 7. Show all your working and give your answer as a mixed number in its lowest terms. Okay, for those of you that don't know, a mixed number is something, so a number with a fraction after it. Okay, so that's what a mixed number is. So, first things first, I'm going to convert 2 5/8 into an improper fraction. So how do I do that? Well, 8 over 8 is, I do 2 times 8 plus 5, okay, that gives me 21, so 21 over 8, okay, times 3 over 7, okay, then that gives me 63 over 56. I'm just multiplying the numerator and the denominator. Now, this is an improper fraction, okay? So in order to make it a mixed number, I'm going to rewrite it as 56 over 56, which is 1, okay? But what's the remainder? Well, I do 63 minus 56, which is 7, so I can write, it's going to be 56 plus a 7 over 56, okay? So this translates to 1, okay? So it becomes 1, and then 7 over 56. Well, if I divide top and bottom by 7, I get this 1 over 8. Okay, so the final answer is 1 and 1/8. Okay, and that's how we answer that question. Right, next question. So it says, y equals x squared plus 7x minus 5 can be written in the form y equals x plus 8 squared plus b. Find the value of a and the value of b. Okay, so I'm actually going to use what we call completing the square method to solve this question. So how do I do that? First things first, I'm going to first of all make this equal to 0, and I'm going to put 5 on the other side. So what I mean by that is x squared plus 7x is equal to 5, okay? So all I've done here is this equation equals to 0, and I just put the 5 on this side, okay? Okay, we've got that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually add this this coefficient squared to this side and this side. So I'm going to do 7. I'm going to do a 7 over 2 squared on this side plus a 7 over 2 squared on this side, okay? If you don't know why I'm doing that, you'll see later, okay? So, x squared plus 7x plus 7 over 2 squared on this side equals 5 plus 7 over 2 squared on this side, okay? So, basically, the equation still is okay because I've just added something to both sides, okay? And in algebra, as long as you do the same to both sides, you're not changing the equation, okay? Well, you are, but you're not changing the values on both sides. They're always equal to each other. So, 7 over 2 squared translates to 49 over 4, okay? So the next time I write this out, I'm going to have 49 over 4 on both sides. Now, also, x squared plus 7x plus 49 over 4 on this side actually is equal to x plus, it's actually equal to 7 over 2 squared, okay? Try this out yourself, okay? Pause the video and expand the brackets. Okay, for those of you who don't know, this is x plus 7 over 2 times x plus 7 over 2. Okay? So if you expand these brackets out, you would actually get this. Okay? So actually this is equal to this. Okay? So that's why we've actually added half of the coefficient of this middle value, squared that to both sides, so that we can actually do this step here. Okay? So, this is going to be equal to this side, okay, so this is equal to 5 plus 49 over 4. Well, I'm going to write 5 as 20 over 4 plus 49 over 4, okay, add them together, that gives me 69, okay, over 4. So, if I write this all out, it becomes x plus 7 over 2 squared, okay. I'm now going to minus my 69 over 4, so plus minus 69 over 4 equals 0, or originally y equals x plus 7 over 2 squared plus minus 69 over 4. Okay, so now we've got our a, which is 7 over 2, so 7 over 2 or 3.5. And then we've got our b, which is minus 69 over 4. Minus 69 over 4. And that's pretty much it. So, next question. Right, simultaneous equations. So, basically there's so many ways of solving simultaneous equations. Okay, I'm just going to show you my way of doing it. Okay, you can pick any one first to find the value of x or y first, but I'm just going to take the top one and then I'm going to find y. So that's how I do it. So I do 3x plus 4y equals 14. I'm going to make y the subject. So it becomes y equals 14 minus 3x over 4. Okay, so now I've got my y from this equation. Now I'm going to substitute this y into this equation. Okay, so becomes 5x plus 2 times 14 minus 3x over 4 equals 21. Okay, this is equal to 5x plus 28 minus 6x over 4 equals 21. Okay, then I'm going to minus, sorry, 20, so I'm going to rewrite it as this. I'm going to do 5x plus 28 over 4 becomes 7, minus 6x over 4 becomes 3x, sorry, minus 3x over 2, yeah, 6x over 4 simplifies to minus 3x over 2 equals 21, and do 21 plus 7 gives me 28, so 5x minus 3x over 2 gives me 28. Then I'm going to do 10x over 2 minus 3x over 2, so 10x over 2 minus 3x over 2, 28, so this is 7x, 28, therefore x is going to equal 4. Okay, 28 over 7 is 4. So I have my x now as 4, then if I substitute 4 into any one of these equations, okay, I would get the other value, okay, and if you substituted that, you would get 0.5, okay? Right, question 17. The diagram shows triangle ABC. Using a straight edge and compass only, construct the bisector of angle ABC. Okay, angle ABC, first of all, is this angle. It wants us to bisect that angle. So how do we do that? Basically, with your compass, okay, you go from the origin, and then I'm just basically, okay, you don't need to change the length of your compass. Right, just see what I've done. I kept the length the same, and I just picked any distance between AB and BC. Now what I'm going to do next with my compass point, okay, I'm just going to draw, without changing the length, a line like that. Go to the other side, sorry, okay, and do that. Now, the bisector angle is now going to be from point B, okay, to where these intersect. Okay, and I've halved the angle. Okay, that will get you 2 marks. Now it says draw the locus of points inside the triangle that are 3 centimeters from AC. So here is AC. Okay, I'm going to have my ruler here. Basically, I'm just going to jot down for 3 centimeters from that line, from line AC. Okay, and basically it should be a line parallel to AC, and it has to be inside the triangle. Okay, so that's 3 centimeters away from AC, and it's parallel to it. Okay, and it's inside the triangle. Okay, so that's how you answer this question. So 3 marks for that question. Right. 18 says find the nth term of each of these sequences. Okay, so first things first, let's see what we need to add each time. Well, we add 3 each time. Okay, and then the rule is that number 3, whatever you add each time, how much do you need to add to get the first term? Okay, so 3 plus 13 will get me 16. Okay, so the answer is then going to be 3n plus 13. Okay, and basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I substituted 6 in here, it would give me the next value. Okay, which would be 31. Okay, because 28 plus 3 is 30. So for this one, basically, I've spotted a pattern, okay? So these are basically powers of 3. 3 to the power of 1, 3 to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 4, okay? But what about this one? How do we get, 1? Well, 3 to the power of 0 is 1, or any number to the power of 0 is 1, okay? So basically, our answer is going to be 3n minus 1, Okay, now this is a difficult one, okay? Basically you need to be able to spot powers of 3, powers of 4 sometimes, powers of 2, and this is the clever bit here, okay? Instead of it starting from just n, so 1 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 1, at the first stage we need to do n minus 1 to give us this pattern, okay? Right, next thing. It is estimated that the world's population is growing at a rate of 1.14% per year. On January the 1st, 2014, the population was 7.23 billion. And part A, find the expected population on January the 1st, 2020. Okay, so for this one, you need to use this formula. 7.23 billion, okay, times 1 plus 1.14 over 100. Okay, this is our fraction of increase each year, so this is our original value plus the percentage increase per year, and then we're going to do 2020 is 6 years, is in 6 years time, so we put a 6 there. Okay, plug this into your calculator and you should get something that gives you 7.74. okay, you should get 7.74 billion to 2 decimal points if you put that into your calculator. Okay, next question. Find the year when the population is expected to reach 10 billion. Okay. Now, for this example, I would literally just suggest trying out numbers. If you know in 6 years' time it's going to be 7.74 billion, try out 7, try out 8, 9 and 10, okay? And if you tried out each one of those, okay, you would eventually find out that actually it is 28 is your number that is needed to be your n to get 10. So if you did 7.23 times 1 plus 0.14 over 100 to the power of 29, you would actually get 10. Okay, so the answer is 29 plus 2014. Okay, it's approximately 2043. Okay, so if you put 28 as well, that would also round up to 10 as well. So 2042 or 2043 is going to be your answer, okay, for this question. Okay, but literally you just have to try different values out to work this out. Okay. Right, next question. In the diagram A, B, and C lie on the circumference of a circle, center 0. Work out the size of angle ACB. Give a reason for each step of your working. Okay, so there's several rules you need to know in this question. First of all, any triangle that is connected to the origin is going to be an isosceles triangle, meaning that these two sides are going to be the same length, meaning these angles are going to be the same. So if that's 28, this is going to be 28, which means this angle is going to be 180 minus 2 times 28, which is 124. So angle A0B is 124 degrees. Right, now there's a rule which states that this angle here, okay, if we draw another line to another bit of the circumference, okay, that angle is going to be half of this angle here. So actually angle ACB is going to be equal to half of angle AOB, which is equal to a half of times 124 degrees, which is 62 degrees. Okay, so your answer is 62 degrees. So, and that's the answer to that question. Now, obviously, I've stated why I did each step, but basically you would have to say, okay, triangle AOB is a isosceles triangle, meaning 28, meaning angle 0AB is equal to angle 0BA, and so on, and divide by 2. Okay, so you need to literally write down each step. Okay, but I've explained it to you. Just pause the video and just write down what I said. Okay, that's it. Right, last question. Region R satisfies these inequalities. On the grid, draw and label the region R that satisfies these inequalities. Shade the unwanted regions. Okay, first things first, I need to draw these 3 lines. I'm going to start off with this middle one first, okay? So, and I'm going to basically rewrite this to have y as the subject. So I'm going to say y is greater than 12 minus 3x divided by 4. Okay, that's y is greater than minus 3 over 4x plus 3. Okay, so because I've just literally written this in the form of y equals mx plus c. So I know this is going to have a negative gradient going downwards like this, and it's going to cross the y-axis at 3. So let me find 2 points on this line. Okay, basically I'm going to substitute x as 0 and y equals 0 to give me 2 points. So if I substitute x as 0, it gives me y equals 3. So my first point is going to be 0 and 3. So let me plot that. It's going to be 0 and 3. If I make y 0 now, so that's 4 times 0, and then I have to find out x, then it's going to be 12 divided by 3, x becomes 4. So my next coordinate is going to be 4, 0, so 4, 0 is going to be here. So if I just plot this line out, it will be, just join these 2 dots together, a straight line, okay, like that. Right, next one, y equals 2x. Well, let me just substitute. If x is 1, 2 times 1 is 2. So my first point is going to be there. So I can do 1, 2. Another point, if my x is 2, and it's 2 times 2, it's 4, so 2, 4. So my next line is going to be like this, from the origin. Okay, crossing these 2 points like that. Okay, and finally x equals 3 is just literally this line here. Okay, so it just goes up like that. Now, it says shade the unwanted regions. So x is under 3, so that's going to be what I want. So I will shade this region here. Don't want that. Okay. Now this bit, I'm actually going to look at my rearranged equation. For the middle one. So what is it telling me? It's telling me that it has to be greater than, y has to be greater than this line. So here's this line, so it's got to be greater than that. So the unwanted region would be this bit here. Okay. What about this? Y equals 2x. Well, sorry, can you see that? Y equals 2x. That means y has to be under that line. So here's the line. So it's this bit, this stuff. So the unwanted region is going to be everything on top. And then that's it. That gives you 5 marks. And that's the end of these questions.